today, welcome back, everybody. We are talking about what friends celebrate. So if like, let's say, for an example with Nicole, she's moving in from out of state, so she might not be able to go home from every holiday. So what are things that she can celebrate with her friends or her friends' family?
Basically, Emma's family.
Huh?
I said basically with your family. I don't know who else I would be celebrating it with.
Well, you could find new friends too. I don't have to be your only friend.
Nah.
So you're aware. But so a big one would be. So there's a couple of big ones that I could think of. First off, birthdays, because it's Nicole's birthday. When you're younger, I think it's more proprietary that you have like a birthday party, but like as you get older, it's not necessarily needed. Like last year, I got tacos and drank margaritas and spent it at home, and then this year, my parents came down and we had dinner and also ate tacos and had margaritas, but they came down, so it was a little more like I got to celebrate with them.
I'll remember that for next year.
I like my margaritas and my tacos.
Well, it's definitely something that's difficult to do when you're on your own. But I'm excited to see what we'll actually do when we're together, since this next year will be the first time since college that we actually are able to celebrate our birthdays in person instead of from long distance. But for anybody who's been interested, it sounds like Emma has been celebrating her birthday with tacos and margaritas, whereas I've been very diligently trying for the last 5 years to accomplish something that I've always wanted to do. Like on my birthday, it's kind of like a birthday gift to myself. And it kind of started off like by accident. My first year in China, I got tickets to the play Wicked, which is a play I wanted to see since I was like 13. So I got to see that in Guangzhou, which was pretty cool, on my birthday. And it was like a dream come true. So then like the next year, I tried really hard to make it so that I was again doing something that I'd always wanted to do. And it wasn't exactly what I wanted to do, like since I was really young, but ever since I got to China, I really wanted to go to this place called Yongshuo, which is a very picturesque area of China. And so I went there during my birthday, and I got a really cool picture that I love. And then the next year after that, I think that's when I went to. I think that was when I went on my like trip to Europe by myself. So I like backpacked across Europe, and I started in Pompeo, which is where I was on my birthday, and then moved up through Italy and then to France, and then ended in Scotland, which was a country I always wanted to visit. Emma can attest to this. She got to go before me, which is something that made me really upset, but it's okay. We've both gone now. And then when I moved here, we do have to go together. And then when I moved here, it actually became a lot harder, but I kind of just said to myself, like, who else can say that they celebrated their birthday 2 times in Saudi Arabia? So that was kind of fun.
That's true. But, like, it's interesting to think of, like, so when I think of a birthday as an adult, I'm like, oh, I guess we could just go out and have drinks or whatever. But you made a really good point. You actually accomplished something versus I'm just getting older and I'm going to go drink my sorrows into a glass of liquor, So it's a different way of looking at it, which I kind of appreciate that. So I'm like, now what do I want to do as my, like, birthday thing?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess this year it was kind of, a couple of college friends and I met up in Knoxville, Tennessee. So we we had started planning it, and I said, look, we could go this weekend, and giving them a whole bunch. And initially, it had been the weekend of my birthday, and I was like, this would be cool. But then we ended up switching it to like the first weekend in April, and there were two of us that had birthdays right around that time. So we were like, there we go, it's our birthday gift to ourselves. So I guess that was a way I could have looked at it too. But yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
I think it gives you like more purpose, you know, like as an adult. Yeah. It gives you something to kind of like think about, like what is something I really wanted to do for a really long time, and I just haven't been able to do, whether that be because of money, my situation, or because I was maybe like in a place where I just, you know, wasn't able to do it. And it has allowed me to actually look forward to my birthday more, because, you know, normally, I mean, I think we're very much the same, where I don't really care about my birthday. I don't try to put too much emphasis on it. It's just about like, I'm older, great, awesome, that's wonderful. But it actually makes it more like meaningful, because then it's like, okay, what is it that I get to finally do that I've wanted to do? And then it's like, oh my gosh, I've accomplished a dream of mine, which is like kind of cool to be able to say, because, you know, I think we do go through our lives thinking, you know, we're not allowed to get the things we want. And it's like that one day where you're like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to give me this thing. No matter how weird it is or, you know, pricey, it's like, I earned it, you know, kind of.
Another friend celebrating thing that's become more of a trend, and I have done it once, is Friendsgiving instead of Thanksgiving. So, my friend Dara hosted at her house first time we did Friendsgiving. So we basically went over to her house, all pitched in and made Thanksgiving dinner, and just hung out and had cocktails and had a great time. And I kind of really like this concept, because then it's taking, you know, because sometimes, depending on the family, Thanksgiving or like a Christmas dinner with the extended family can be
a nightmare.
Yeah, I was going to say, in a nicest way possible, because there could be a lot of people. B, you've got people you necessarily like or see all the time. You're like, who is this person, or why do I have to talk to this person? And then C, you might end up with crappy food. I remember clearly one Thanksgiving dinner, you know, because you could have a really dry turkey, or they don't whip the mashed potatoes enough and it's not very good, or someone overbakes the stuffing, or in the one Thanksgiving I really remember, my cousin didn't have the oil hot enough to deep fry the turkey, so we had to bake a turkey, and so it took even longer, because it was like, you're only supposed to deep fry it for like half an hour because it's so big. And then he pulls it out and it's still raw. And we're like, what's going on? And the oil was like not even hot. He was like, oh, I thought it was hot. He didn't have a thermometer. So we're like, how are you? Yeah, like, dude. So, and there's just, on my end, there's some family members that I don't necessarily appreciate their opinions. So I would rather be able to host a Thanksgiving and make a really good dinner. I've done it twice now. So I did the first one with Dara, and then last year I did that with my friend Rachel from work. I went over to her apartment with her roommate, and I made let me think. I made Brussels sprouts. I made mashed potatoes. Or no, not mashed potatoes. I made scalloped potatoes. And then I made stuffing.
You're gonna make everybody hungry for Thanksgiving food.
I know, right? But it was really, really fun. And then you just get to sit around and hang out with your friends and eat food and just talk. So I think that's a fun thing for friends to do, to, like, you know, if they can't go home, or if they're, you know, not wanting to necessarily drive however many hours home, you know, or even if it's an hour away or 10 minutes away, and they just like, you know what, I don't want to. This year I want to be at home. Mm. You could do it with your friends instead. Well, I find that it's encouraging.
Being abroad, you definitely understand that concept. The first year I was in Saudi, I actually celebrated Thanksgiving with everybody on the compound because they did this potluck sort of thing where everybody just brought a dish that they were able to make, and then we all just sat around and ate together, which was really nice. And then the second year, I actually did it with my group of friends. But it was kind of interesting because a lot of us were like vegan, vegetarian, so it kind of ended up just being like, I think we just ordered from an Indian place because it just ended up being easier than trying to like make sense with all the Thanksgiving stuff. And then this year, because of COVID, I think I just skipped it. But, you know, I can understand, like, the want to be with people who you're not, you know, you're fighting against, or maybe you just don't want to be in a situation where you are, you know, at home for whatever reason. And being with friends can definitely take that away. And you don't then have to feel like, oh, gosh, I'm all by myself on a day where I'm supposed to be spending it with family. And because you know what they say about friends, they're your chosen family.
I 100% agree to that sentiment. Mom, too. We've talked about that at length. And like, she's, like, you and I are really close. And she's really close to her friend, Becca. And it's this concept that she's never been really close with any of her siblings. And I'm like, I'm close with Sarah, but because of our age, we had to be, you know. So I appreciate the fact that I can choose my own family, you know.
So we were talking about things we celebrate with friends. So we were talking about Thanksgiving. You know, one of the things that I found that I was celebrating a lot with my friends is quitting a job. Have you ever done that?
Ooh, I have not, but I do. Well, once, and it was kind of anticlimactic. Mm-hmm. But when I left the bar that I was working at to work for my current company, the bartender, she and I were good. We hung out. We talked quite a bit. So it was my last day, and she's like, what are you going to do? And we're just hanging out. And then one of the guys that was a regular that I had talked to quite a bit, he was like, oh, it's your last day. And so, like, I sat there and I got drunk with the guys at the bar because it was my last day, and they kept buying drinks. And I was like, well, okay, I guess that's one way to celebrate.
I've had a lot of celebrations for quitting a job and this job. So I've gone to, like...
Really?
Yeah, because there's so many people quitting at different times, and then they want to have a dinner to say goodbye to everybody. And so you end up just going out to eat a lot to say goodbye to people. Which, I mean, here is not that bad. I mean, like, at home, you'll be spending, like, $10 every single time, but here it's, like, not that much. So it's nice. You get to go out. You get to see the person for one more time. You can kind of say you're all like, oh, well, I hope that you really find what you're looking for next time, and we'll miss you, sort of deal. But I will say that the one thing that has been missing is alcohol. So there's that.
That's right, because they don't have alcohol in Saudi Arabia.
No, they do not have alcohol in Saudi Arabia. Mm-mm.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Oh, back on subject. another holiday that I want to try. It's not necessarily something that I've done before, but what I would like to do is celebrate New Year's like as a fun group activity with friends. Like I've always done it where I go to my parents' house and we like toast the New Year, and that's been about it. Or the last 2 years, it's just been, hey, I'm at my house, it's Happy New Year, yay.
The last couple of years for me have just been like, oh, good, thank God that year's over.
I get you.
Especially this last one, I was just like, oh, thank God it's midnight. We can put 2020 behind us for good.
This is true. I think a lot of people did that too.
Yeah, I didn't really bring in the New Year this last time. I'm gonna be at Mom's this time though, unfortunately, because
that's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Because she asked if I wanted to be there or with you, and I was like, well, I haven't been with her for like the last 2 years, so I feel like it was time.
For sure, absolutely.
But I could see New Year's being fun. I mean, don't normal people normally go out with friends on New Year's, and we're just those people that hang out with their parents?
Probably. I mean, I've like talked about it with a couple of coworkers, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I just go to the bar and hang out." And then one girl's like, "Oh yeah, I go to this New Year's party in Milwaukee every year."
How do they find these parties? Like, I feel like I had a friend back in China, and she always found these holiday parties, and I'm just like, who do you know that is inviting you to these parties?
Like, exactly. I'm like, can I get an invite? Because I have the perfect outfit already planned several years in advance, but I just never go, you know? And I'm not going to wear a fancy outfit to my parents' house.
Oh my gosh. Emma, you know what we should do? I mean, it won't be New Year's, but we could have our own New Year's party that's after the New Year's. That's actually in the New Year's. And then just get like all snazzed up. Go to one of those supper clubs you were talking about, and then just like act all fancy. Yeah. Or we could go to the karaoke bar that you mentioned, and just be like all decked out, and nobody would realize why. That'd be hysterical.
Oh no! See what would happen if we go to the karaoke place, which is just a bar on the corner. What we would have to do is tell different stories to different people.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, we're coming back from, like, if it's a weekend, like, coming back from a wedding. We're coming back from whatever. Yeah. And just a different story to every different person. So they're like, who are these people?
They're just the most interesting women in the world. Yeah, so we could go to, like, St. Vinny's, or we could go to Goodwill and just get, like, one of those snazzy dresses, you know? And just wear it for that one night, and then just be all like, yeah, look at us. We don't know who we are either. That'd be kind of fun.
Woo! That would be fun. I would like that. I'm trying to think.
What about Valentine's Day? Do you think friends can celebrate Valentine's Day together? Is that appropriate?
Absolutely.
Isn't there a Singleton's Day now?
Huh?
Isn't there like a Singles Day now? Like where you celebrate being single?
I don't know, but we could do that on Valentine's Day and call it a day.
Or you could be my Valentine's and I can be yours. Though how good I would be at that, I'm not sure. I'm really bad at remembering things. So I would be the actual like guy in this situation. Just be like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Trying to figure it out at the last moment.
Right. Oh, let's just go get flowers and a box of chocolate and call it a day.
I think, honestly, that is the worst gift anybody can give anybody else. But that's just my opinion. And here's why. First off, flowers die and stop killing plants, okay? It's not appropriate. Secondly, chocolates melt, and then you're just basically telling me that I'm supposed to feel better after you've given me chocolate that is supposed to make me fat. Like, can you be less original? I don't know. Maybe that's just my opinion. I would take the chocolates over the flowers, though, to be completely honest. But if you got me flowers, like, come on, dude. Try better.
My grandma always said, give me flowers while I'm alive so I can enjoy them, because I can't when I'm dead. So,
but then buy me a plant. Like, don't give me something that's gonna die. You know, like, I'm so weird about flowers. Like, I will keep them once they're dead because I don't like the fact that people will just, like, throw out dead flowers. It's not their fault they died. The person's the one that cut them. Like, they're just trying to live their best dead life, all right? So.
Grandma, impressively, she would have her flowers last for weeks on end. But it was her mission to make sure they survived. And for some reason, carnations did really, really well. Even though I don't really like them that much. But that's just me.
What else could friends celebrate together?
Well, let's see.
I guess Christmas.
You could do Christmas, but I feel like friends already do that. They'll, like, have Christmas parties and stuff.
Have you ever been to a white elephant?
Yes. Oh, I forgot about that. So my dad's neighborhood where he lives, this one family, they host a white elephant gift exchange every year around Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's usually. And it's adults only. So they go, Dad and Lisa, if it's not bad outside, they'll walk because it's that close. And they'll just have a ball and just have a ton of fun. And I'm like, this sounds great. They've come home with a legit white elephant planter. So you put plants in it. And it's this giant ceramic thing. They came home with broken Christmas lights. They took a giant Santa Claus cookie jar one time. But a whole bunch of fun things. And I love it. It sounds like so much fun. So that would be a fun one to plan.
So I just looked it up. For anybody who didn't know, I didn't know before, I just looked it up. So white elephant refers to an extravagant, impractical gift that cannot be easily disposed of. The phrase is said to come from the historical practice of the king of Siam, now Thailand, giving a rare albino elephant to countries who had displeased him so that they might be ruined by the animal's upkeep costs. That sounds exactly what friends do to each other. That's so funny. But yeah, I just looked it up. But no, if you don't know what a white elephant is, it's not really that. At least in my experience, it's really just you're supposed to buy something kind of cheap, right?
No, at least in what I've heard, is that you have to give a gift of your house that you don't want. So I'm trying to donate a broken dehumidifier. I'm actually going to throw it out at this point. So I could give that as a white elephant gift. Because it's something I don't want that the person's going to have to haul back home and get rid of on their own time.
What? Oh my gosh. I mean, the only white elephant I ever went to, man, I was really young and I don't know why I was there, but I mean, I remember there being like some really crappy gifts and then there being some really good ones and everybody would try to fight over them because what happens is you get your gift, right? And then you have the chance to exchange it somehow.
Yes, it depends on the rules that you play by, but you basically, so I did that with the theater group's Christmas party 2 years ago, is you each got a number, and then you just went down the line to whoever had the highest number, and then you went to the right. And if the person on your right wanted the gift that you had, they would exchange with you. And then they would go to the next person. If the person on your right wanted to exchange with you, they could, or if they wanted to keep their gift, they could, and just rotate it around from there.
Yeah, because I've never been a part of one as an adult, but I do remember being a part of one when I was really young for some reason. And I thought it was really fun. I thought it was really interesting. I ended up with like this mug of a racing horse, which was awful. But like I thought it was just kind of like a fun little thing to do. And I definitely think like a group of friends could get a lot out of that. Especially like if you're saying it's something that might actually not be working, or if you did like put a price limit on it. Like you have to buy a gift that is at least $50 or something. I don't know. I guess you can make your own rules up since that's what it sounds like it is. But then it kind of like makes, gift giving a lot easier, because that's one of the things I hate the most about any of these kind of celebrations, like with birthdays and Christmases and stuff like that. I always feel like and as I got older, I feel like I've gotten more this way where I just want to give something that the person wants or needs. It's like, I don't want to get you crap, because because I know what it's like to have crap that I've bought myself, not just crap that I've gotten from other people. And so I'm like, man, I really wish I could just get them something they actually really, had their eye on. So they're like thinking of me, and they like the fact that they got this from me, and they didn't have to spend their own money. I think that we need to move to this sort of place where we're more comfortable asking each other, like, just tell, like your mom did, just tell me what you want, and I will get it for you. Because I found that when I do that, when I actually tell my mom, like, these are the things I actually want, I end up getting better gifts, because then it's not her just, like, guessing at what I want. Because, I mean, like, it's not that I don't like the things that my mom's gotten me in the past, but there are some times where I'm like, why did she get me this? Or why did I get this instead of that? So I think it could be very beneficial to start being like, here's a list, get something off of that list,
For real, though. Yeah. No, I get that, too. Like, so Mom is turning... Well, I should probably not say how old she is on the show. That
29.
might get me approved.
Jane is turning 29.
Not a day older 30.
Not a day over 30.
So she's turning 30.
No.
And so it's
always
a big
29.
milestone.
They don't ever get over 29. That's my mom's age, by the way.
Oh, good to know. Duly noted. So it's a big mile marker for her. And I asked her early on in the year, I was like, well, ma'am, what are we doing for your birthday? She's like, I don't know. It's too far away to think about. She said, and if anything, I would just want to spend time with my kid. And I was like, I can do this. So, like, I got to talk to my sister and my stepsister about what we could do for possible ideas. And I already have a couple. But I don't know if she watches these, so I shouldn't say anything. But I'm trying to do, like, a girls' weekend or something, I think. But I haven't 100% decided. But, like, something where she spends time with her loved ones versus let's throw a giant party. And even though those are fun, but let's throw a giant party that a lot of people are going to be there. And Mom, who's an introvert, is, like, peopled out by the end of the day, Like, I want Mom to be comfortable.
And I mean, it's one thing if that's what your mom had said, like, I want you to throw me a huge elaborate party that I'm in the center of, then that's giving her what she had asked for. But if she's saying, I want time with my kids, then you give her that. I mean, that's what my mom wants every single year. It's not that difficult. As long as, like, we show her some sort of attention, we're good. So it's like, moms are kind of easy in that way. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. I think that's good. I do hate to cut this short, but I need to get a move on to get to work.
That's okay. I don't think I would have been able to think of any other things that friends celebrate together. It's kind of a small list.
Yes. We found things to talk about. It works.
That's true. All right. So, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so I think we've reached the end of the things that friends can celebrate together. Though, if you guys have any others that you would like to, shout out at, don't be afraid to comment below. But Emma has to go to work. She's a busy, busy bee. So we're going to end it here and say bye. Bye.